welcome to the new Beverly for Josh Olson's week. We've got a couple more nights. I mean, Harlan's obviously going to be here tonight, but we've got Exorcist 3 and Night Configuration Friday and Saturday, so come back for that. And Josh, come on down.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. You're about to see A Boy and His Dog, which is one of my favorite films of all time. I'll probably repeat some of this when Harlan's here, but Harlan Ellison is the writer who made me want to be a writer. I came to him through my film History of Violence, which he was a huge fan of, and second time we met, he asked me if I wanted to write with him. So, and here we are a couple years later, and I don't know, it's still kind of mind-boggling. Anyway, we're going to show you the film, and then Harlan's going to come out afterwards. We're going to do a Q&A. If you've never seen Harlan in action, I promise you it'll be worth sticking around. And I want you to do me a favor. I came up with this earlier today. I wasn't sure I wanted to do it, but the fucker's running half an hour late, so I really want to do this now because he gave me a heart attack. Because Harlan's never late for anything. Somewhere during the Q&A, I'm going to turn to him and say, would you like fries with that? I want everyone in the audience to raise their hands and just go, like you're crazy people, and then stop. Okay? Because that gonna be all right? Because I really, yes, okay, good, because he earned it tonight. One other thing, hey, do yourselves a favor. How many people here have seen the film? Or better yet, how many people haven't? Okay, the last line of the movie, I'm not gonna ruin anything. Do not in any way, shape, or form indicate to Harlan that you think it's good or funny, because he will come down to the audience and he will beat you to death. I'm not kidding. The people here know him, they'll back me up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Inglorious Scope, I think it's a new print or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's apparently a gorgeous new print, A Boy and His Dog. So you like that, right? Yes. Well, it is a rare privilege for me. I'm actually, I believe I'm the only person who's ever written a screenplay with Harlan Ellison and lived to tell the tale, which is a great honor. But without any ado whatsoever, I'd like to bring out my dear friend, my second father, my first child, Harlan Ellison.
I'm wearing my pajama bottoms and my slippers. If this offends you in some way, well, with the nicest possible intent, go fuck yourself. The reason I'm wearing those is because today, on the roof of my house, the feet went out from under me and I fell flat on a board and damn near broke my back. I was in constant pain, and every time I shout at you, which I seem to be enjoying, for some inexplicable reason, oh God, I can't say the word Mac. It's difficult. I don't know why I start that. Oh, there he is. The right one. And that's odd because the voice of the dog, which you're going to see tonight, or you just saw. Did you just see the movie?
Yes, they just saw the film, Harlan. We're doing a Q&A down here.
Who did American Hot Wax. And he was really, you spilled your fucking cup a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Harlan Ellison. Thank you for coming. Take your time.
Take your time. No, I'm going to rush, motherfucker. Of course I'm going to take my time.
I'd like to point out that my T-shirt can beat up Harlan's T-shirt.
My T-shirt could be a show at the Regency Theaters. Yours can't. A little over your heads. I mean, whenever you need to catch up with me, just say something. It's like talking to a goddamn Pointillis's painting.
They'll wake up. They're stunned by that film.
It's a Rorschach out here, and I mean the real one. She's good. I like her. I want her in the front row every time. Popcorn is not bad. Okay. Did you want to ask me a question, or did you want me actually to inform them in some way? And why is this not working?
Is it, yeah, is it a mouth that does work? I'm not
It
sure
is,
you
but I'd
need
have
it.
to swallow. You never know whose mouth has been up here before.
Well, I was wondering, would you like fries with that? Ladies and gentlemen, Harlan Ellison with his mouth closed. This is why don't you just tell us the history of the film here? You wrote the novella as part of a... I don't want to get this wrong. I'm going to say it's a trilogy, but it's not really. There's a short story that comes before. There's the novella, A Boy and His Dog, and then there's the novel, novella?
Another short thing?
Another short story, Bloods Are Over.
No.
Oh,
Run, Spot, Run.
oh, Run, Spot, Run. Okay.
This is part of a novel. I was writing the novel in London, Boy and His Dog. And I got a call from Michael Moorcock, the fantasist, who was editing New Worlds at the time. He said, I need a story. You got a story? And I said, well, I just finished a section of a novel. I think it's the beginning, but it may not be. He says, it's standalone. I said, yeah. Can you all hear me back then? Yeah. I said, I don't know. I think it's standalone. I think it'll work. He reads it. He loves it. He publishes it, A Boy and His Dog. So it's a long novella. A lot of. In those days, we wrote for a penny a word, 2 cents a word, 3 cents a word, if we were lucky. And I had a contract with Avon Paperbacks, and they needed a longer story to finish off the book. The book is called The Beast That Shouted, Love at the Heart of the World. Let me see if I can use this. Well, use yours.
Use mine. Mine works.
Yeah, yours has got a little bloom to it. It was called The Beast That Shouted, Love at the Heart of the World. And I threw in A Boy and His Dog. Next thing I knew, it won a nebula from the science fiction writers. And I started getting calls for movies. And the first call was a high six-figure. Now you gotta understand, a lot of you have the idea that someone is a writer, they must have a lot of money, because look how much money Stephen King has. Ooh, look how much money Jackie Collins has. Ooh, I am a blue-collar worker, folks. I get up every day like a peon in the bean field, and I go to my typewriter. Typewriter? Yes, I use a typewriter. You're kidding me, a typewriter? An actual typewriter? Yes, I use a manual, not an electric, a manual. There's manual labor, you know, manual labor. A manual typewriter I use is good, because. And I say to it, I say, hey, this could get bad very quickly. I start doing accents. I have no responsibility. I'll tell you, I'll give you, here, hold this for a minute. Gotta have the crazy old man hair. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This evening we are here for the lecture on fear. How fear is not bred in us, how we learn fear only as adults. You see before me, I have a pit, and in this pit I have various dangerous vipers, asps, cobras, anacondas. Over here I think is a black widow spider. All of these things, snapping and biting. And Hans the baby. You notice I hold the baby over the pit of snapping tigers and crocodiles and she-wolves and vampires and copy editors and plagiarists and all sorts of other dangerous animals. The baby does not cry. The baby does not. I lower the baby. I lower the baby directly over the snapping jaws of the alligators, crocodiles, marzipan, various hypodermic, and other. The baby does not cry, thereby proving Hans another baby. So, where the fuck was I?
I have no idea.
I don't know either. So, next thing I know, I'm getting a call from several different studios, which was great, because I wasn't quite broke. I wasn't missing any meals, but I was postponing a few. And I have here, this is an audio. I don't know how many of you still use audio tapes. I mean, they're still viable. This is A Boy and His Dog. It's $15. I have no money in my pocket. I'd like $15. Is anyone who would like to buy this from me? First one who would like it can have it. It's complete. It's got me reading. It's my reading. I'm a terrific reader. I'm a terrific reader. He knows I'm a terrific reader. It's Harlan Ellison, a boy and his dog, and repent Harlequin, said the TikTok man. Would someone like to buy this for $15? Right here. Right here.
Dude,
Steve?
8-track.
Fuck,
an
are you buying?
8-track.
You're not gonna buy my dad. I'll give you a tape. Go away.
Did you bring the 78?
No, I didn't bring a 78.
The wax
I
cylinders are
have,
at home?
I have 33s
Of that?
it, but I don't have. No, is there one person here who would like to help out?
Is there a person here who
a
isn't
poor
one of
Jew from
Harlan's oldest
Ohio?
friends?
No,
Will you autograph it if I buy it?
kid.
That's 20.
Kid, I would eat it for you for. Nobody really have you never heard me read? Let me read you. Oh, there's a
Oh,
hand
they
right
don't
there.
have
Wait,
oil
let me
for
re-
some
give
place.
you. Let me read you something for a moment, and then you'll see whether you want to buy this or not.
Hey.
I'm going to read you.
Might I suggest something?
No.
I have an idea.
No.
Read him the last paragraph, tell him how it should end.
Read the last paragraph.
Read
of
the
what?
last paragraph of the story, tell him how it
Oh,
should
I would
end.
read it. I don't have the actual book. I have,
Oh.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. This was the most recent way in which it was published. It's called The Continuing Adventures of a Boy and His Dog, Harlan Ellison, Vic and Blood, drawn by Richard Corbin. And in it, it has the script, it has all of the stories. The ending of this movie has always annoyed me. It annoys me very much. Did you all laugh a lot?
No, they hated it.
No. How many, come on, fess up. How many of you laughed? Mostly, and I mean this without any offense at all, asshole guys like this who should be at home, earning a living instead of fucking mooching off their parents. Am I close? Am I close? No, wait, you're a piezoelectrician studying at Harvard, right? You just came in for the evening with your somnolent girlfriend. Do you know what somnolent means? No, not you. You know what it means. Does he know? You got a fucking beard. You ought to act like a man. Jesus Christ, he grows a beard. You know what a beard used to signify? I've been on the road and I haven't had a chance to shave. Goddamn slacker-ass morons. All the shitheads you deal with all day and look at them and think they're it. No, you're it. It's like looking for the sucker in the poker game. If you can't find him, you're it. Okay. When LQ got done, I wrote the script for about the first 3 minutes of the script. The meanest line in this movie is mine, where Vic gets down into the store or whatever it is that's ruined, and the woman has been raped and killed by the Rover Pack. Do you remember that far back? That was about 80 minutes ago. Good.
They're enwrapped, Harlan.
Like pupae.
Yes.
Yes.
They're hanging on your every word.
Explain pupae to them there.
I don't know what that means, I'm just assuming.
It is the Latin plural of pupa.
A pupa, yes.
Do you know what a pupa is? How many have no fucking idea what we're talking about up here? Larvae, pupa,
I'll give
butterfly,
$10 to anyone who raises their hand.
centipede, Richard Nixon, all of these unearthly looking stages are called, Jesus Christ, why did you drag me? Oh, I hurt my back. Oh, Jesus. I didn't even say McIntyre that. Okay. In the first scene, if I do that, I'm not putting it on. It's really hurting me, folks. And you'll see tears come to my eyes, which ought to really cheer a lot of you assholes up. Vic is trying to stay out of the way of the Rover Pack with Blood, and Blood is telling them where they are and telling them how they got a woman trapped down there and blah, blah, blah. There's some cans down there, whatever the hell it is. And they wait. And the Rover Pack leaves. And Vic goes down and carefully begins investigating this underground, which is either a wrecked store that has been covered over or a hospital. It doesn't matter what it is. And there's a woman lying dead on the table. You can see her legs. And they have repeatedly pulled a train on her, for those of you who know what the phrase means. And for those of you who do not, blissful darkness. They live in a blissful darkness. There's a soft, gentle breeze playing through the savannah between their ears. It's always good to come out and meet people like you.
Would you like fries with that?
You know the gag ain't gonna work. You know that I look with disdain and contempt upon any fool bad enough, low enough, base enough, disdainful enough, feckless enough to have been suckered by one of your stupid gags. I know before I got out here you did a stupid thing. You say, look, whenever I say you want fries there, I want you all to grunt like monkeys, and you do it. You fucking do it. Oh, God, I'm too smart for you. My movie is too smart for you, but I'm going to try and educate you. Just hang in there for a goddamn minute. I still haven't gotten any $15, but I will. I saw your hand. You will not get out of here alive. We have machine gunners posted at all the corners. God, you're fat.
Read the paragraph.
As I told someone outside, as I told this young lady here, he's been following me ever since I pulled a thorn out of his paw. Anyhow, I have no idea what I was talking about.
You're reading
Oh,
the
so
last,
Vic,
you're setting it
Vic,
straight.
Vic says, Vic is looking at the woman. Now, don't forget, Vic is he 15? He's 15 in the book.
Yeah.
He's
in the book.
15
In
years
the
old.
book.
Yeah, in the book, he's 15 years old. And he's never known any love in his life. And he's been a beast. He's been out there roaming the goddamn wasteland of this terrible, after Holocaust, after debacle, after crisis world. It's not atomic or anything. I never say what it is, because I don't give a fuck, and I don't want anyone to know. It's just the way it is. And he's never known any love, and the only thing that keeps him alive is the dog. In this world, which is a post any decimating war, whether we're talking the Wars of the Roses, or we're talking about the Crusades, or the World War II, World War I, this is what it's like. It is absolutely the alien turf. All that he can count on is getting food, having a gun to defend himself, and if he can find a woman, to fuck her. Now, this is a 15-year-old kid whose genes are just beginning to sprout, whose eugenics suggests that he go dip his wick somewhere, but he hasn't the faintest idea where or how, except he knows that women cause that in him. So there is no right, there is no wrong. Man has become beast, and in this story, literally, and that's all it's about, is man has become beast, the beast has become the voice of society, and is urbane, and is clever, and in the book, at the beginning, Vic says, in the movie, it's not in the book, it's in the movie, I wrote, because I wanted it to be a tough movie, and I can think of a tougher line than this. Vic looks at her sadly and says, shit, she could have been used a couple of more times. And the dog, in the original, says, charming consideration, Vic. That's his response. And you get didn't make you laugh, but it's not supposed to. He's urbane. He's Robert Benchley. He's Walcott Gibbs. He's Alexander Walcott is exactly who he is. In truth, he's me. And he's me with Jimmy Cagney's voice. And the story was very line. All the critics picked up, oh, God, that was a mean line. There wasn't a line that mean throughout the whole film. So I displayed my incredible and above average talents. But in the end of the book, the way the book ends is not the way the movie ends. I despise the last line of that movie. First, because the dog would never say it. The dog is too hip. The dog is too cool. The dog is too smart. The dog is too human. He's too urbane. He's too civilized. Vic will say any fucking thing because he's an idiot. He's just a fucking idiot. He's like a soft toy that blood is keeping hanging around because he provides him with food. That's all he's there for. And everything. And when he falls for Quilla June, Jesus Christ, is he a bonehead? And he falls for it because he wants to dip his wick. But that ain't the. And he begins to feel, for the first time in his life, something like love, and he doesn't understand it. And that's why she's able to snooker him. He has no idea what's going on. But in the end, when it comes down to her, she's mean. She's so mean in the book, she provides the killing of her mother and father. You don't get that in the movie. They escape. She's wearing her fucking bridal gown. The dog has been lying up there by the door waiting faithfully for Vic to come back, whether he will or not. Vic comes out, sees the dog. She says, "We got, leave him. He's done for anyhow. Let's go." He is now torn between his dog that has been his lifeline all his life, and is the only thing he can count on, with whom he is telepathically linked, for Christ's sake, and this girl, who is meaner than a Drano cocktail and has got him completely knockered. And the way my story ends is this. We came running up, went 50 yards, he went 50 yards past me, realized the heap in the gutter had been, no. The fuck? Oh, he had been running the presidents, been trying to get the dogs were trying to get him to memorize presidents. This, of course, was written some years back. That's not
Here,
it.
I'll find it, you keep.
No, I can find it, it's my book. Here, I
probably read it more
I know exactly where it is.
Apparently
I'm
not.
telling you, I know exactly where it is. Don't you come up my face. Vic, Willa June's voice was high and whining. Come on, he'll be all right, we have to hurry. I looked up at her. The sun was sinking into the darkness. Blood trembled in my arms. She got a pouty look on her face. If you love me, you'll come on. I couldn't make it alone, not out there without him, I knew it. If I loved her. She asked me in the boiler, do you know what love is? And there's a break, and then it says, it was a small fire, not nearly big enough for any rover packs to spot from the outskirts of the city. No smoke. And after Blood had eaten his fill, I carried him to the air duct a mile away, and we spent the night inside on a little ledge. I held him all night. He slept good in the morning. I fixed him up pretty good. He'd make it. He was strong. He ate again. There was plenty left from the night before. I didn't eat. I wasn't hungry. We started off across the blasted wasteland that morning. We'd find another city, and we'd make it no more. We had to move slow because Blood was still limping. It took a long time before I stopped. Hearing her call to my head, asking me, do you know what love is? Sure, I know what love is. Boy loves his dog. That's the end of the story. That's the last line. When LQ put that together, and he made this film for next to nothing, the things that he did are just astonishing. He's a fairly astonishing man. He's like having a cold you can never get rid of. It's like being close friends with his grandfather, who bit the head off General Robert E. Lee or something like that. And LQ had it filled with sexist lines, where in the boiler, for instance, the dog was calling her a stupid cow. And I said, an animal wouldn't call a human being a stupid cow. And he said, oh, that's going to have to be edited. Well, the editing and the looping took money he didn't have. And so I took the first, I don't know if you even know this.
I just heard the story.
I took the first cut of the film, and I took it to the World Science Fiction Convention, and I said, we're going to play, it's going to be a premiere. And I had just won the Hugo the year before, and I won the 2 Hugos that year. And everybody, oh, wow. And they filled the fucking auditorium. Everybody was waiting. And the film kept breaking, and the film kept stopping, and their equipment wasn't right, and the lights didn't go up, they didn't care. They sat there for 4 hours. 4 hours. And in between every break, I would get up and do this. And apparently I was fast enough and sly enough to keep their attention, and they sat there for 4 hours waiting, and it won a Hugo the next year as the best visual. Well, I said to them, there's editing that has to be done. There are lines in here I hate, like the last line, which I'm going to go to in a moment. And I said, I have here 3 frame pieces that were looped out of the film. I said, I'm going to sell them for $10 a piece. As many as you want, you can have. I got a bag full of them. I came back to Los Angeles, and LQ said, we don't have the money to do this. We can't do it. We got the money. And I turned over the bag, and there was $3,000 in it, over $3,000. In those days, $3,000, and it's not that long ago. It's only about, 35 years of this film? 35 years may sound like a lot to some of you who are 21, but indeed, trust me, there was shit happen before you happened on the scene. I'm not even going to go into the Peloponnesian Wars, for Christ's sake. So,
Late 70s, right?
Oh, late 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always confused by young lads who know it all. And as Oscar Wilde said, I'm too old, I'm not young enough to think I know it all. And so I just get my pleasure out of just jerking your chain and fucking you around as badly as I can, and telling your mama's so fat she sits around the house. She sits around the house. Ooh.
Yeah, they know
You think
that.
that's old?
That's really old.
How do you know? Well, let's see. Let's check their ages. How do you know when an elephant has been foraging in your refrigerator?
Jello, butter,
Footprints in the cream cheese. Footprints of the cream cheese. You notice it has them rolling on the aisles.
Yeah.
Their heads are popping off like bad mushrooms. Look at them, it's wonderful. I will tell you a joke I know you will laugh at. This is a joke I tell in grade schools when I lecture, when they're stupid enough to invite me to lecture to children. And I enjoy doing it. A large black bear and a small white rabbit are going through the woods, and they have a cut trail. And they decide to walk along, get a little bon ami as they pass through the forest. And at one point, they decide they have to stop and relieve themselves. And as they're standing there by the side of the road doing their business, the large black bear looks out at the little white rabbit. He says, "Pardon me." He says, "Pardon me, I do not mean to intrude upon your toilet, but might I vouchsafe a question without intruding upon your privacy?" And the rabbit says, "Yeah, go ahead, what is it?" He says, "You find that when you relieve yourself, that the poop sticks to your fur?" The rabbit, aghast, looks up and says, "No, of course not." "Excellent, excellent," says the black bear, picks up the rabbit and wipes his ass with him. Now, I always say but. I always say but. In the schoolroom, if you want to be a crazy old man who says shit they don't understand, you don't start with that joke. But any joke you start with that has poop and butt in it, you are A-OK. It's like Charlie Sheen visiting kindergarten. You wanted to say something?
No, I'm
Okay.
enjoying the show already.
LQ had all of this terrible sexist stuff, the last one of which is as they're walking away and the dog is wrapped, he's very faithful, Vic and Blood are walking away, and Vic says, "Oh hell, why'd she have to get all muddle-headed over me? She asked me what love is." And the dog says to her, the dog would never say this, he says, "Well, Vic, she didn't have very good sense, but she sure had good taste." Now, I was at a movie theater in a college. Oh, fuck, no, I'm kind of, don't, listen, when it's this bad, I don't even like people to talk to me. The disturbing of the air annoys me. Oh, fuck. Is there any water?
Yeah, right behind here.
Oh, yeah. I'll be with you in a second. Don't go away. Talk among yourselves. You don't actually sleep with him, do you? Oh, my God. A woman your age, you can do far better. I mean, he's not a bad guy. He's got a good heart, but he won't accept responsibility. And no matter what the fuck he does, he ain't wrong. It was somebody else's fault. Well, I wouldn't have run into that car if the fucker hadn't been sitting there, right? You'll see him on Judge Judy tomorrow. Right next to a black woman who says ask as axe. He asked me, and I always think Lizzie Borden. I do. I mean, white people are so goddamn dumb. They all talk like Valley goes. So like I went to buy the bustier, and like I didn't have enough money, and like I talked to the what do you call the shop girl, and like I want to just take her fucking neck and give it a squeeze and a twist, pop it off like a bad pimple.
I was at the Newark many years ago. They had a blaxploitation festival. They were showing Dolomite, and Rudy Ray Moore showed up to talk for a few minutes. And I'm sympathizing with you, sir. But there was a young man sitting in the second row who had a top knot and kind of a little bit out there. And Rudy Ray, I don't think he had any idea what he was in for. Did his entire routine, which he was an insult comic. And he did it for about an hour, and he did it entirely at the expense of this poor guy who sat there while the entire thing.
Well, you always
You were
pick
being
one.
sweet to this young man. I just want to say.
I could get
forward.
mean.
Yeah, no, he's
Oh shit, are you kidding? I'm joking around with him. I'm making his life happy. I could fucking re-rip his old one. But I won't. I'm a kindly old gentleman.
Yes, why don't you tell us about Don Johnson? I'm sure everyone
I'm
wants to
going
know
to
about
get to it in
Don
a minute.
Johnson.
They played. I'm coming
about
to
Don
the,
Johnson,
coming to
right?
the end of the anecdote.
Oh, okay, fine.
And Don Johnson plays no part in it,
Well, okay.
but he could. So Don Johnson and I was actually at Don's marriage. And
Which one?
the first one. Beautiful girl. I knew her before I knew him.
Melanie.
Melanie.
Yeah.
I knew Melanie Griffith and her mother, who we used to go out to the joint where they raised the lions out in the fucking valley. Oh, and they were friends with, I'm losing everything, Time Machine, gorgeous, Yvette Mimieux.
Oh, Yvette Mimieux, yeah.
Yvette Mimieux, who please. Next to my wife, who is, where are you? Raise your hand. She's back there. A speedy little redhead, my fifth wife, after a long, the first four, as I was saying to her, not so much. A couple of them were terrific women, really good women who never should have gotten involved with me because I was an asshole, major
Yeah, I'm sure you're a dream to live with.
No, I'm a fucking nightmare. Are you kidding? Living with Patton Oswalt and you in a menage. Well, since you have one ball and Patton's got in a menage a trois. Anyhow, Susan, my wife, is back there, but next to her, Yvette Mimio was exactly what you mean when you say breathtaking. And Yvette and Melanie and Melanie's husband and all, they were at the. Now don't chase me in my Pinto if I go running. Woman, redheads. Never, I'm not going to do redhead joke.
The last line of the film.
No, okay. They played it at a college, and the guys, these fraternity assholes, and all these other jerkwad young punks, just roared and laughed and stamped their feet and clapped their hands. They couldn't enjoy it more, and I was physically ill. I swear to you, I wanted to whoop my cookie. My gorge became buoyant on the spot, and I said, "Okay, you got to take this out. You got to take this out." And he took out everything, virtually everything else. There's very little left of actual anti-feminist in it or anti-woman stuff in it. It is all intended to turn your stomach about the way guys deal with women and talk to them and all of that, which was years before I got my ass kicked by a really good feminist and learned what the right stuff was. But it still saddens me every time they play the film, and an audience who doesn't know what I just told you, roars with laughter. I just want to say, I can't fucking go in there. I mean, I just disrespect that. So I figured I would give you the real ending, and you could enjoy that. The ones who aren't apprising, I'm going to punch that fucker's lights out my first opportunity. I'm ready. You kidding? I like nothing better than a good fight. I have a knife in my pocket. I should.
So Don Johnson's wedding.
No.
No, you don't?
When I fell down, I must have dropped.
He's unarmed. Get him.
Don Johnson. Don was okay. I don't think Don was he was a young actor. I think he did the job well. He was not a particularly formidable or talented person, but he was being upstaged by a dog. The dog, who was played by a real dog named Tiger, and did many, many movies thereafter, and was the dearest dog you ever want to meet. Good heart, played a good end game, would start from the Brokaw Gambit, which is silly, but very soon he would have you trapped in a castle movement that you couldn't break. And he was like my dog Abu, who was the one after who I wrote Pointer's Dog for my dog. I wrote it for Abu. Abu and I were great friends. He was very, very smart. Beat me at chess 3 out of 5, and was really, really a cool animal. And when he died, I wrote about it in a story that I did called The Death Bird. Some of you may know it. And the section that I wrote about Abu is an elegy for the dog, and it's been reprinted a lot in famous dog books. If any of you ever read fucking famous dog books, I hate cats. I hate the goddamn things. Like who was the cartoonist? Clyburn. He did a wonderful cartoon where the guy said, Love to squeeze them little kitties. Love to lift them up, watch their eyeballs pop. One of my favorite things, particularly when I got before I was married, I was always single and I was a whore. I was well known as a slut. It had been said of me truly, and I was very hot looking in them days. I'm a fat tub of shit now, but I was great looking, a lot better than him. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't have fucked him.
The sleeping dude, though.
Sleeping dude?
Yeah, next
Which
to
one?
girlfriend.
Not him, the one that
He's asleep.
Who's asleep?
Guy right next to Vanessa.
The guy
That
next.
guy's sleeping with my girlfriend.
Vanessa, punch the dude next to you and say, wake up. Hey, dude. Yo, Sleeping Beauty.
He may be dead.
Sam Somnolus. Is it a human being? It's another one of your gags.
No, it's not. I swear to you.
Vanessa, punch him. Give him a shot.
Oh,
Who
there.
knows? Would you, nice lady who laughed when I said axe, will you leave? Oh, hi, welcome back. We were just talking about monkey vomit. No, huh?
Okay.
Would you like to hear it? By the way, I'm a full service, all representation bigot. And if I miss your
Oh, God.
sex, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do
I
that.
think some people here may have.
I'm not gonna do
some-
that.
some
I'm
questions.
not going to do that.
The,
One riot in the theater is enough. I am not going to do that. But I just want you to know so you don't feel left out. If I fail to insult your ethnic variety, your sexuality, your state of physical appearance, your religion, have I missed anything?
He's asleep again.
He's asleep again. Please call out, and I will absolutely say something really rank and redolent to get
Believe me,
you.
he will. Why don't we open it up a little? Because
Open it up. You mean this has been a closed session?
Yeah, I'm sure they have questions they'd like
I'm
to
sure
ask.
they do.
I have none.
The apple is not actually a fruit. The apple is, I thought you meant just general questions.
Sure, why not? Who has a question?
Would someone
for,
please ask me to explain the ethical structure of the universe? I'm up for it tonight.
There's a hand way back there. It's
I
one
can't
thing
even see him. I have my
straight-
glasses.
I'll translate for you, sir.
Oh, wait, let me get my $15. Can I?
Who's the guy who wants to give Harlan $15? Come up here and give him $15. I'll sign your
Right here,
book
is it-
while he's answering your question. Sir, what do you have to?
wondering if Mr. Olson was going to have a party when James Cameron's Avatar bombs and
So he finally did it, and I said, sure, be glad to give it. Well, they're gonna play. They're gonna play. They're gonna play. I think we're gonna play Straw Dogs, and a boy. Okay, that'll be a real good one. Double bill. No, sit there. You're gonna love Sitara. Is that who? Sitara. Sitara? Isn't that Sitara's daughter, Zatanna? Is that what? No. Sitara. You're gonna sit. Is that a close invitation?
Of who?
Of whom you would literally, yeah. Jesus Christ. I'll tell you a funny story. How many of you here are crazy like me and listen to the classical music station KUSC? Okay.
Hey, look, here you
There's
go.
a couple. There's a couple. Everybody else is busy. Thank you for coming, both of you. Steve, was that?
That's Steve.
Oh, fuck,
That's the other Steve. Even Harlan's friends are bailing. By the way, Harlan will be programming the new Beverly in a couple of weeks. If you check the schedule, he's showing some pretty interesting films, some pretty great double features. It's Clue. Clue and Harlan.
Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Clue Gulliver in my audience, in his audience. Would you, ladies and gentlemen, please. Well, next thing you know, you're gonna tell me the rifleman and his son are in the third A row. Oh, God. Can you pick that up for me?
Oh, yeah.
I would do it, but it would only cause me excruciating pain.
But check the schedules. I don't have it in front of me, but it's when are you programming here? A few weeks, right?
I am. Oh, I gotta tell you something, because you don't know. I am in the process at the moment of negotiating a deal in Japan with a very large film company. They're not a jerk you around film company. It's one of the real ones, Diotides. They've made lots and lots of movies, and they want to make a Boy and His Dog. And I own the remake rights, and Boy and His Dog, this is what you don't know. This version here that says The Continuing Adventures, so I'm sitting in London writing that novella, and Mike Moorcock wants the story, so I sell him the story. Next thing you know, bam, it's a movie, and it's all the thing, and everybody thinks it's a standalone. It's not. It's the second section of a novel called Blood's a Rover, which oddly enough Jim Elroy is using as a title very short. They don't want to see it, but they're exhausted.
It's a great film. Some of them came just for that.
I got these three stories I could finish. And how about I finish these three? No drifts. I'll finish.
How much time?
I don't know, but I'll finish it. It'll take only a few minutes. I'll make it
Reading
fast.
stories?
I'll make it
Three
fast.
stories.
Used to go to the